Hi, I'm FabuDad.
And I'm FabuMom.
And I'm Fabu, and together with Miss Cleo, we are
FabuRocks, the #1 family stream. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the FabuRocks Podcast.
Yes, let's go.
Today is episode 5.
Equipping ourselves.
Equipping ourselves, yes, very important. Now, first of all, we would like to give a humongous thanks to our sponsor, Turtle Beach, Rockcat, and G Fuel.
Yes, thank
you.
Shout out. Woo woo.
Let's go.
A little recap of our previous episode, episode 4, Hitting Reality. There, we actually talked about the tough decision that we need to make as a family in order to proceed with the therapy for Fabu. And actually, as I said in previous episodes, we were always failed until somehow, not today, but later on and through the episodes, that we were running out of time, as we lost about 2 years of therapy. That we actually received a minimum results, and we felt that we needed to have more time. But we didn't have more time. We were actually had full-time jobs with a new job on the way, with a new company we were building on the way. So we ended up making tough decisions. So if you're interested to check out that episode, make sure you go back and check out episode number 4. Once again, Hidden Reality.
The format for this podcast will be Fabu will be asking us questions, which we will be answering. And at the end, we will be answering questions that our community, the Fabu fam, and the Fabu Army have asked. So I think we're ready to get started with the questions.
Okay. Number 1, this one is for FabuDad and FabuMom. Currently, we have this amazing equipment, and it's awesome. So tell me about the equipment that we started with.
So Fabu, after we made those tough family decisions, it was more than established that we were all in.
Yes.
All in. So once that happened, we were like, okay, let's take a look at the equipment that we have, which was, we had a camera, we had a cell phone, and we had a lot of enthusiasm. You know, we had the basics.
Yeah, with together with a couple of computers that we thought that they were like good enough for rendering those videos, and they were
PCs.
Regular, office PCs that, at that moment they were good, but they were all-in-one touchscreen PC, but not good enough for exactly what we were doing and what we needed to continue doing.
But we thought we were rocking it with our equipment,
Yeah, we thought that we were
like rock stars.
I think that we did great with that, that equipment in the very beginning. Once again, to bring that super awesome experience to Fabu. It was always has been all about creating this awesome experience to Fabu. So yeah, we thought that we had the basic cover, but
until we saw some videos and we started searching like what kind of equipment do you need to have in order to make YouTube videos, high quality videos, etc. And then that's when we realized that we didn't have the equipment that we needed.
Yeah, quickly we learned. We always go back to, for Mom always say, we always go back to basis of YouTube Academy.
Yeah.
We've been part of the YouTube Academy since day one. We started with Fabu to researching everything. I think that I never have used YouTube so much ever in my life, but it ended up being very handy. I mean, quickly we find out that the basics that we have, it was super basic, near to nothing. I mean, I was trying to look for a definition. Okay, I had the basics, but when people were saying what the basics were, compared to what we had, we ended up having nothing. Nada. That was the definition that we were having.
Nada.
We were having nothing. It's like reality check. You have nothing.
Yep.
So come back and get basics, because right now what you have is nothing.
It's nada.
But hey, we didn't know any better at the moment. We thought that, hey, we got all this. But no, in reality, we had nothing.
We had nada. So after watching a couple of videos, we realized that we needed a microphone, which we didn't have.
Well, we had a microphone, but in reality, it was like a really cheap microphone that was on top of the camera. That it was not like a real,
badass.
Not a good quality audio, because at the moment it was about quality, but at the same time, good enough to continue doing what we were doing. So, before I was trying to budget, we were budgeting ourselves. The mic that ended up, the recorder I ended up getting, it was not good. The camera that we had, we thought that it was good, but no, it wasn't.
Not really.
So we needed to get a better quality camera,
And lights. We needed lights. Like who would have thought
And
that
lights.
we could not use our home lights?
Yes, better lights. At the moment, we had the home lights, but we only got like one light that it was not so good. And I don't know, you remember this?
And a lamp?
I read. I remember it says, "Hey, you know what? I read one of those YouTube. I saw one of the YouTube videos saying that you could use LED lights and things like that." And I ended up buying a couple of LED lights in Home Depot. Remember that?
Yes, we did.
And I ended up buying a couple of LED lights in Home Depot. I'm like, it's the same.
Contractor style.
Contractor style. I'm like, it looks the same. It was on sale. Like, it looks the same. It's LED light. That were not very specific. And I ended up learning that nope, that was not it. Actually, I needed another type of, lights. They were more soft light. Or some type of other lights that it was too bright, and it was not good. So we needed to buy lights. We needed to buy
a lot of things.
a better camera. We needed to buy a better audio, a recorder. We need to actually start thinking about doing something with the computer because it was a humongous hurdle there. It was a humongous pain that I believe that it was taking 50% of our time. Every time that we needed to do anything when it comes to rendering anything, editing, everything was in the computer. At that moment, creation of whatever art or anything that I needed to do at the moment, it was done in the computer. And once again, I didn't have a background either on graphic designs or anything like that. So, and we didn't have the money, neither the budget or anything.
Those were some very frustrating days for FabuDad.
To pay anybody to do it. We couldn't afford to pay anybody to edit anything. We couldn't afford, especially after making that tough decision that we talked about in the previous episode. We needed to bootstrap, So we needed to create this awesome experience, but ourselves.
Yeah.
Without outsourcing anything, and at the same time, we were already spending money in that equipment. So getting X amount of money to start spending that equipment for sure. We were not going to be outsourcing anything. And I always believed that, that it's better for us to do ourselves as make us part of the,
of the whole experience.
Of the whole experience. And that was part of it. But it was a lot of work. It
was hard work, yeah.
Yeah, it was hard work. But we needed all that in order for that hard work that it was taking too long. And we could maximize our time and be able to render whatever video they were getting with a better quality and less amount of time, and rendering in less amount of time with a better equipment and more efficiency. Yeah, more efficiently for sure.
Number 2, I bet all that equipment was super expensive. Do you have any method or strategy to save any money?
So yeah, we are the king and queen of looking for deals, for deals online, in different stores. One of our big strategies when it came to the video camera was we went to Best Buy and we shopped their open box section. And that's where we found the first camera that we used. Mind you, back in the day, a 4K camera wasn't nearly as inexpensive as it is now. So back in the day, those little savings really do add up, and they matter.
Yeah, a good 4K quality camera, not just any 4K camera. They have face tracking and a bunch of other specs that we wanted to have to make a better quality overall video, so it will be better and easier for us to render. We could just go online and trying to find deals, but we believe that going to Best Buy, because at the moment they had, until today, I think they have that price matching thing, but they had an advantage that we saw that had an open box deals. And those open box deals, the majority of the time, there's, people will just purchase an item, they have second thoughts or whatever, why not, and they return it. And everything else is there, but they actually discounted an extra 10-20%, depends. If it's
Wow.
missing a cable, and maybe we have the cable or whatnot, they would actually give an extra discount. So it doesn't hurt too. You have friends working in Best Buy either.
Yeah, no, I was also
Yeah.
going to say that the great part of that also is that they still allow you to purchase the extended warranty for them. So
Yeah,
even
for us that
though-
was a plus.
yeah, and so that protects you whether down the line something were to happen to the equipment, it would still be covered.
Yeah, for not much, we were covered for a year or 2 years. If if the camera fall or anything like that, and for us, that was like, hey, we need to be covered. We're not gonna have a budget for the next year. Something happened to the camera, we need to buy
screwed.
another one or
Yeah.
anything like that. So we need to have that cover. And there was time there actually. We did use those warranty, and we were able to
Indeed.
refund everything and be able to replace a brand new camera. So it was
We
good.
did.
It was good.
I remember us using it a lot for tablets.
Yes. So yeah, that's one of the things that
Oh yeah.
we did when it came to the camera.
Yeah. So I know at least 3 things about making a setup. 3 valuable things. Is one, you need a camera, a good computer, and a mic. So for good audio. So what mic did you end up getting?
Wow. The audio issue was an ordeal in and of itself.
Yeah.
We knew we needed a microphone, right? So, but we were clueless. So we went to Sam Ash.
That's right.
To ask about a microphone that we had seen online was like the best one to get started with when you're doing YouTube videos. Well, when we got to Sam Ash, we ended up having a salesman who had been a reporter or some sort of a
Yeah.
journalist in
Wow.
his country. So he was like the expert in
Yes.
audio.
He was a guy.
He was the guy. We were there for like over 2 hours with him giving us a lesson on audio, microphones, recorders that left me dizzy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually remember that day actually.
The thing is that we already have buy an audio equipment that ended up useless somehow because we needed something better quality, etc., etc. And we were like, okay, so let's do something different this time. Even though the YouTube Academy and all that is been working great, I think that we need to be educated better.
You're a visual person.
And be in front of somebody to talk and to have question right there, because you could watch a YouTube video and all that, but you can ask questions, and
You're
sometimes
sounding like such a boomer.
Yeah,
Yes.
FabuDad.
but the thing
What
is
a
that
boomer.
I had a bunch of questions because I didn't know anything. So there was certain questions that I feel that I needed to ask in order for me to be able to do things, because I didn't have no idea. So we went to Sam Ash and we started asking questions, and boy, that guy had answers.
By the way, we didn't just go one time. We went.
Yeah, we came back because you know what?
We
The
went
thing is,
several
we know
times.
that we were lost in space as soon that one of the first question this gentleman actually asked us is, do you need a dynamic mic? Do you need an XLR cable? And we were like, what?
What's that?
I just need a mic. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you need to know what type of mic do you want. And he started giving us all these different type of mics that you could get, depends on the usage. So it's like, are you gonna be talking near to the mic? Are you gonna be streaming? Or are you gonna be recording? Are you gonna be behind the mic or in front of the mic? And like,
We
Dude,
all sorts of
I
questions. We were like,
never
"What?"
thought that it
We were
was
like,
so complex buying a mic. I just need a microphone. I never thought that I was gonna buy a rocket ship. It was mind blowing, and there we learned how clueless we were about just
Super.
microphone. The compressed dynamic, if this and with that, with this
Phantom, right?
connection
Something
and
about
phantom
phantom,
power,
yeah.
and we were like, oh my god, I never thought that it was so many options. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
but what's the difference? It's not just the mic. Well, it's different because the dynamic, blah, 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 and that other one, blah, blah. Like, oh my god, this is like,
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't
his-
know
that
what
was
to
Fred's
answer at
true
that
boomer
point.
self.
We got into the store with, I want a microphone, and we left with, I didn't even know what I want. I have no idea
Yeah.
what I want. I'm just I just thought that I need a mic. Now I have no idea. I have no idea what I want. So yes, we went actually the next day. We actually did a little research. We needed to, go back to the YouTube Academy and start researching, the difference or the dynamic. Even though the guy had explained to us a lot, what is the best to use for based upon our needs. Educate ourselves a little bit more, and then make decision based upon that, and then come back to the store and tell the guy, look, based upon our needs, what we need is a mic that is actually a recorder, but it will have, a couple of XLR, but at the same times, to be this, like to have options for later on if we wanted to use another camera to be friendly to other cameras and things like that, and to be actually by himself, or we wanted to connect to the camera and have these options to be phantom power, to be this and that. So we were able to have a better educated choice and option the moment, and we ended up buying, what we believed. Well, not what we believed. Actually, that was a super awesome microphone recorder that ended up, based upon when we start growing, doing other things, useless. And
really?
Yes.
Wow.
But it was a great one based upon our
needs
needs.
for a while.
It all depends in our needs.
And how you look at it.
When it comes to, to technology, any of that, it have to be your equipment. Even buying a TV, it's all depends of your needs. That's what it comes to. What is you need it for, and your needs change throughout the time. Maybe your needs this year is one thing, but evolve, and next year maybe your needs are more or less or whatever. Why not? So you have to, accommodate your equipment or whatever that may be, and has been true to now. We have equipment that it was very useful 1 year, the next year was not useful at all.
Yep. Right.
And then we needed to upgrade it the next year because we were going to start using it, but our needs already evolved to something else, and we needed to use for something else, and et cetera, et cetera. And that actually it became more truthful when we went from recording videos to live streaming, and then back to record a little bit more of videos, and then podcasting. I mean, it's always evolving to today. Our needs has evolved and continue to evolve, and we already know that it's gonna continue to evolve. The more content that we come out with and we start, doing on a daily basis, the more they would evolve, and we would need something else.
Yeah, and that's also what's best about like Pesify. Like, we want this camera for our setup, and then a year later we want another camera, so we turn it, right? Return it, right?
No, we don't return it after a year.
No.
After a year
Really?
is you only have like 30 days or something like that to return the phone. There's not like, hey, here's your camera. Wow, Fabu is like very slick. Hey, a year later, hey, I used the camera. Here it is. Give my money back. No, it does not work like that, Fabu.
Wow.
Don't
No.
we wish?
Wow.
Don't we wish?
Wow, Fabu. Okay, I think we're gonna be ready for the next question, Fabu.
Number 4. I know another big thing is lighting, and I remember you mentioning in the other questions that you used for lighting the home system, and you said you need another lighting source. So what did you use?
Lights. Okay, so lights has been a big issue
Still,
from the jump. Yeah, from the beginning. It's been an
Still,
issue,
like-
and it still is. Like, so in the beginning, we used, like we had mentioned earlier, a Home Depot light,
yeah,
and we had
LED.
these big humongous lights, and we also had a green screen,
yeah.
which we didn't know how to use. We bought a green screen, and we bought a green jumpsuit.
A green jumpsuit.
Yes.
Yes, because it was at that moment. I have learned that I started learning what to do with green screen, and once again, I always trying to look for things to do a bigger and better and more excited experience overall for Fabu, right? So I have seen tricks that if I would dress up with a green screen, I could disappear her, or just only left her hand out in a certain footage, or putting nice background. So I was starting to play with things like that, and I wanted to do so. later on, so I needed that green screen. Now to the lights that with the Home Depot lights that I had before that were not working out, we learned too that it was not just a light or two, that it was a 3-step system, location system of a lighting, and it needs to be a soft light here and there, and we started learning all those things that I'm like, no wonder why everything it looks so bright. You look the beginning, some of those new videos, everything is super bright because it's like we put a sun on top of Fabu because we didn't know what to do with lights or any of that. We didn't know that we have to put a little bit of light here with a dimmer and here and then put it. We didn't need any of that. And based upon that, we need to buy different lights. So we ended up buying one of those packages that it gives you like 3 or 4 lights.
Yeah.
Give you like 3 or 4 lights with a green screen and all that. There's a bunch of those packages on Amazon that it didn't cost much. It was,
But for us at that time, it was like a
But
lot.
for us, it was a lot
was
because like
expensive.
$250, something
At
like
that
that.
time, we were like,
It was like,
dang.
wow,
Yeah.
like a couple of $100 for this.
And
Like,
not only that, the light bulbs, they were like photographic light bulbs that each light bulb
Yes,
was like, I don't know how much.
each light bulb was, would it be like $35? I don't know. It was expensive.
They were
Well,
expensive.
now
And-
that like you're more experienced with the light, do
Actually,
you consider like
well
expensive?
now compared to the lights that we have, obviously, yeah, there was like right now, a good small light is like $500, $600.
Yeah.
But we have learned through the time, it's even a small RGB lights is like $200. So yeah, but at that moment it made a humongous difference. Even the green screen, we were like, how can we pay like $50, over $50 for a green material? Like we could go to one of these stores. What was the name of the store for Mom that we ended up going to?
Joann's to the fabric store?
Yeah, trying to go to this
Yeah.
fabric store. You just buy a chick green.
Well, by the way, look behind me right here. That's one of our hacks that we had
Yes.
come up with, which was
Well, we ended up buying a couple of hacks after that because a green screen ended up being a little bit expensive. So not only with materials like that, or some of them they did work and some of them they didn't actually, because I learned after that because the depends of the material they had a special name. Now I don't remember. Is the tone of that green and
the
depend
chroma key or something.
yeah, in order
right?
to get the chroma key and get it right, you need to have the right tones, and we were not buying the right tones whatsoever because we didn't know there was such a thing. So we keep buying the wrong tones of green. I'm like, but this is green, Jesus Christ!
What
I don't
else do you
understand.
want?
This is green.
Next question.
Yes.
If you didn't know, Farah made his custom build first computer, and around here he brags about like every time. When he gets the chance, he brags about it. Like, oh, I made this computer. Look at me, woo woo. And I'm just gonna ask, how was the experience of building your first computer, Farhan?
Well, I have experience from before when I was younger, working at a company, building computers. And even though that back in the days it's everything is completely different than what I was at that moment, the basics still remain the same. You buy the parts, the CPU, the motherboard, the GPU. It's
Yeah, now the new generation is more
the fundamentals
complex.
never have changed from day one when it comes to building computers. So I have built computers before through this company, and I'm computer savvy. So I thought that it's something that I have, that I'm able to do, that I was confident. But at the same time, I had the help of FabuMom, and she was humongous factors into this. She was a humongous cheerleader, telling me we could do this. We're gonna do this together. Of course you're gonna do this, because I had doubts. I'm like, it has been too long. I haven't,
Well, I think the issue is that when we started looking for computers, we quickly realized that they were so expensive.
Yes.
The ones that were already built, and they didn't have like the specs that FabuDad wanted, nor did they have the ability to, like, let's say in the near future, upgrade to better quality parts.
Yeah, if I don't want the impossible.
So that's when I was like, if this is going to be the budget and this is what we're going to be spending, we might as well maximize that and build it. And I have faith we could do this, between you and YouTube.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We got
There
this.
was based upon the specifications that I wanted to obtain in the computer. There was nothing out there that somehow got closed for how we wanted that computer to have, and whatever it was already pre-built, it was way too expensive. It didn't make sense to us. So by researching the parts and putting them together, I did the math, and it was way more cheaper to create your own build that with everything that you needed, which was awesome, than actually buy a build that there was some stuff that you didn't need it, or you ended up needing a better graphic card or a better motherboard, or even more hard drives and things like that. So we ended up saying, you know what, forget it. It's gonna be time consuming, but it's gonna be an experience if we do it together. I think it's gonna be great. So
I remember us buying a ton of hard drives and mirroring hard drives to hard
yes,
drives.
because
Like,
at that moment we had several things that it takes priority in our build. Number one, we needed to have a really good graphic card in order to help us, together with a CPU, to help us render these videos, with a better quality and a much quicker than the two days that it was taking us to build. Now, at the same time, I realized at the moment that when one graphic card, it could cost near $2,000, and for me that was a shocker.
Yeah, let's just
To
buy
me,
our
it
PC.
it
was
was a shocker
like-
for him. It was even more of a shocker for me.
Like I was like, what? What? It's so it was an experience. Like, first we started looking, to just put things in perspective. First we started looking, okay, so we need a good computer. Let's start shopping around for a computer.
Let's not forget the monitor.
Oh, the
which
monitor was another
one.
thing.
That was another heart
So
attack.
we start like looking for the computers, and none of the computers that were out there pre-built, like I said before, they had all the aspects that we wanted. So I'm like, well, okay, maybe another option is for us to build the computer. We could go that route and start looking all the parts, and then they will be inexpensive. But doing all that, crashing with the reality of how much of those parts cost, it was a humongous shocker for us. Like, we did not understood how a graphic card would cost over $1,000 or near $2,000. For us, that was like, no way. Like, in that moment, we understood that the computers, the home PC that we had at that moment, they were nothing. They were nothing. They were nothing. We thought that it was top of the line because we paid like $400 for them, or $450 for them. And maybe one of them, it cost $500, and that was like, whoa, this one flies. And only thinking that a graphic card was gonna cost us near $1,500.
Yeah.
We thought that, oh my god.
With no monitor.
Yeah, with no monitor,
With
no
no
CPU,
monitor, by the
nothing.
way.
So when I start putting, memory, the graphic card, the CPU, everything together, and once again, based upon our need, what FabuMom was saying before, we wanted a storage. We wanted hard drives. We wanted storage in order to back up everything, because at that moment we had to start having all this footage and we didn't know where to put it. So we needed hard drives, and at the same time back up that hard drive as a mirror. So we need to buy two. So if you want 2 mirror hard drives, you need to have then 4 hard drives, right? So we ended up with a computer with like 6 hard drives, and that was like, wow, it come expensive. Like, now it's something else, like now we have QNAP NOS system through the network. That Fabu actually did an unboxing on that.
Yeah.
And that it has, like,
We've come a long way.
Yeah, we've come a long
we've
way.
definitely
Came
come
from
a
the
long
bottom,
way.
now we're here. Woo woo.
yeah, so
Yes.
totally different. But at that moment, that first build,
That was a beast. A beast
it was
of a
a
computer.
it was a build. It was not concentrated in any of this new builds that we have right now. Because after that, we ended up actually doing 2 new custom builds. There ended up being even more monsters, humongous monsters compared to that build. At that moment, we were thinking that we were building a monster.
It was.
It was at
was
that
like a little
moment
monster
somehow.
at
It
that
was a little
moment. Yeah,
monster.
come on.
Like now, it's considered the little
Wow.
monster, and then ones
No
that we
way.
have
Yes.
is the big
no way.
monster.
No way. You cannot.
Well, we used to call it the black box. It was very quiet. Everything was black. There was no color, no nothing. But it was, it was suiting our needs. Our needs, it was the storage and rendering and a good, in doing quality graphics and a timing matter.
Yeah, it was everything we needed at that time. Next question, guys.
Yeah.
So after building that computer, did you realize something like you needed to buy something else?
So after building that huge computer,
The
that
monster.
monster computer, we still didn't have a monitor.
We called the monster computer the black box. I don't know if you remember. We called it the black box.
We did. The black box. But no monitor. It didn't have a monitor. So now we needed to look for a monitor. And that's where the next heart attack came.
Yeah, we need to buy the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, and all
You
those
guys had a
things.
lot of
Like
heart
today,
attacks.
we have Rockcat today, right?
Yeah.
But there was no
Not
Rockcat at
back
the
then.
moment. There was no Rockcat at the moment, so yeah, we need to get that keyboard. Nothing
Which,
fancy at the
by the
moment.
way, FabuDad wanted it, his own editing keyboard. So he had.
Yes, that was another
How
priority. That's
fancy.
Yeah.
yes, that was not my own. It was actually at that moment. Well, I still into today. They sells those keywords, the keyword with shortcuts for Premiere and Sony Vega and all that. To me, to have a keyword like that, it would help me so much because I already have all those shortcuts. And it will make my life easier. So that's what I ended up doing, actually. That's that type of keyword that we bought, which it was pretty expensive. I didn't know that it cost that much money. But yeah, it was pretty expensive. And another mouse that we got, it was actually concentrating, editing, and creating graphics. So that's our needs at that moment. It was no gaming or anything. It was just that, creating and editing. So in all those, the keyword in the mouse, it was pretty expensive, in my opinion, at the moment. And the monitor, it's like I never knew that a 4K monitor, a good quality 4K monitor, 27 or 32 inch, it will be at least $500 to $700.
It
And
would cost so much. Like
I was like, wow, this is bananas.
like another heart attack.
How disconnect I was
It was
from
one heart attack after the other.
that reality. Yes, like through all that time, it was one reality right after another reality, and us hitting with reality. I'm like, oh my god, like everything is so expensive.
Yeah.
Like
like, so
how
many
how
shots, like,
like it just to us it was unbelievable the amount of money that anything can cost. From the computer parts, we were already having heart attacks, to the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, everything. It was like, oh my god, I hope that now we don't have to put more money into this
yeah.
Psych.
for a very long time.
Psych.
Psych!
Yeah, right.
We have not stopped, and I think for
No.
it's a reality of any content creator. You don't stop investing in your equipment, and then not too long ago, actually a couple of years ago, we created, after this humongous build that we did in the beginning, we created 2 custom build monsters with top of the line everything 2 years ago, which right now it means nothing.
Yeah.
Rip.
Psych.
With new graphic cards that they just came out, with a new CPU that they just came out, with a better motherboard with AI. They just came out with a better capacity for Ethernet. I mean, we have nothing. Once again, in our plans, it's to continue to upgrade those and create new ones. So it's a never ending. If you
Story.
want to continue It's all about based upon time management and how to actually get the better quality and keep providing better quality of content.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for the next question, guys.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask some questions from our community, from the Fabu fam and the Fabu army. Let's get to it. Number 1, did you buy used equipment to save money?
Well, we didn't, and yes, somehow we did. Well, one of the things that, as we explained before, was the open box. The open box, some people would consider that used, but some people would consider that still new, but just in an open box. So it depends how you looked at it. The way that we looked at it, it was new. It was a new item that it was purchased and returned. It was not used for any X amount of time or anything like that, even though that you may think that, yes, it was used for 5-10 days. It still was used, but it was still under warranty for us and everything. Full warranty. And besides, we had put an extended warranty. So we were safe there. Now, one time, I don't know if my mom remember this. Maybe she forgot already, but it was such a headache that I didn't forget. We actually, when we were building the computer, the first graphic card that we bought, it was a super duper gigantic, super awesome graphic card that it was on sale. But I did not read the little words that said that it was used. So I buy this, it was a 1080 Ti Titan, something like that. And I bought it. Thinking that it was new, but in reality, it was used.
You didn't read the fine print.
I did not read the fine print.
Wait, did you return it or?
So this is the thing. I got it thinking that it was new. When I received the item, it looked like an open box item. I'm like, well, maybe overall that's what it was. It was an open box item. And it doesn't look that, it's all sealed. So yes, I don't believe that it was new. So it's just an open box. So I don't have a problem. Some company labeling things new, and in reality it's an open box. It was still discounted, heftily. So I'm like, I don't mind compromising. So I did install that graphic card, which it gave us problem within. Then remember, it gave us problem. It started crashing in 2 weeks. That actually gave us a humongous headache. We believed it was the build. There was something wrong with the build that we have done, and believing that we did something wrong in the build that was not right. And we ended up saying, okay, no, it has to be the graphic card. We called the company of the graphic card, and they told us that actually that graphic card was already registered under somebody. And I'm like, oh my God. How can it be registered? So this is not an open item, an open box item, even though that it still had warranty. I needed to contact that person somehow in order to be covered under warranty for them to send me a brand new item. Well, it was a hassle. It was a headache. I ended up returning that item to the owner. The owner actually gave me a full refund, and we ended up buying a new graphic card. A lower quality, a 1080, which later on we purchased another 1080. So we ended up having two 1080s, not TIs, two 1080s. First we bought one 1080, and after we start rendering stuff and we want to speed up, we decided to do a dual graphic card, a dual 1080 to maximize the time, and we spent a little more money, actually double the money, thinking that it's worth it, even though that we know that it was super expensive. But from that moment on, we learned that, first I need to read the little fine prints, but it was not worth it.
Yeah, you learned a lesson.
It was not worth it by anything used or open box or anything. Well, it was not even described open box for us. It was good because we bought it from Best Buy and the way that we told you how we bought it, but nothing used. Until today, we buy everything brand new. Even though that, to be quite honest, as we upgrade our equipment, we have done this already several times. We have sell or older, almost new equipment online. We have done it.
Indeed.
And it still has had warranty, and we have let but I made sure to in that description that it is used, or if it has been registered or it has not been registered, and what type of warranty it has, if it has full warranty or less or whatever. And obviously it's always, cheaper. So when it comes to, you buy used or new, is up to, it's up to you and your budget.
Yeah.
For us, it was not worth it, the headache that we had. So we decided to let just, buy new, and we have buy new items and put,
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. Right. That's right.
Even
But
though we end up having 3 of everything.
yes. So, there's people out there that, if budget is an issue, but you still buy a good quality, you should think about it. Should think about it.
Think twice.
Read the fine prints,
Learn from dad's mistakes.
yes, make sure, because if you buy a graphic card with $1,000, $1,500, $1,700, and that graphic card ended up not too good within 2 weeks and already has been registered, that's a lot of money in the line there. Like right now, with all this thing, with the new graphic card that came out, those 3090s or 3080s, whatever that may be out there, that they're overselling it crazy. The thing is, if even you buy those overpriced items at 3080 or 3090, that's what you want to upgrade or create your new build. And not only that you're gonna be overpaying like $500, but that if something happened to that graphic card, they're gonna need the receipt and all that, and that receipt is not gonna be under your name or anything like that. You never know if if that company, that manufacturer, is gonna start acting funny or not.
Yeah.
You don't want to go through all those hassle, because you're gonna have $2,000, $2,500. You don't want to have those $2,000, and a question mark.
No.
No.
So,
Not worth it.
in my opinion, it's not worth it.
Next question.
Yeah.
Number 2. When Fabu started to play video games, did you see how much stuff she was learning in a faster pace?
Well, I would have said that this new generation is much better equipped, and it has the potential to be much smarter than previous generation. And one of the main reasons is, right now, today, any kid, a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kid, already has a tablet, already in front of the computer, and playing apps that in my generation we were not exposed to. At 5 years old, I was actually riding bicycles, and God knows what I was doing.
Rocks.
And throwing
Maybe
rocks
throwing
at
rocks to
kids.
each other and things like that. But there was no internet, and there was no tablets, no smartphones, there was no video consoles at the moment or anything like
Yeah,
that.
and if you
That's so
wanted to
early.
talk to someone, you would talk face to
And
face.
later on, that even though there were video games like Atari and all that, it have nothing to do with current video games. Not only the quality of the video and everything, but you need to strategize. The majority of the games now, you need to strategize, even and shooters or anything. You need to strategize your way to win whatever it is that you're doing. Even jumping from one corner to the other, you need to strategize that you don't not to fall. And all that has been already, that kid already is training their brain to strategize how to do things, how to think ahead. And that's, I think that's a humongous advantage. Like, we have been the type of family that we never have seen video games as a negative stuff for kids, as anything negative. Actually, we have seen video games always
as a positive.
as a positive.
Absolutely.
Obviously, always, like our mom always has said,
Yeah, supervised.
supervised.
Fabu's gameplay has always been supervised.
Exactly. For sure. But
Most especially when she was playing Roblox, by the way.
exactly, yes. So I think that this new generation playing video games and all that, I think that have a humongous edge against previous generation. I think that their brains, thanks to apps and games and all this, has been developed in such a way that our generation had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We missed out.
We missed out completely.
We missed out.
And the thing is gonna happen to the generation coming up, coming from Fabu, like today's kids. They're like 1 year old when they got the time to be 6, 7, 8 year old. God knows what's gonna be, what type of groundbreaking technology will be within the next 5 years as technology evolves and evolves more rapidly and things keep coming out quicker and better and to keep evolving. So
Yeah, maybe in 10 years we're already gonna have flying cars.
God knows. I don't know
That
about
would be
that. But
awesome.
That would,
That would be
surprise
awesome.
me.
like, hey, back in our days, getting a taxi, it was something normal. Right now, there's not, even though there's out there, but getting a taxi is somehow
Like, what is a
close
taxi?
to not be existed.
Yeah.
Is getting you Lyft or getting you Uber. Like payphones. Come on, payphones is not even exist
Wow.
anymore.
What a boomer. What is
I
that?
thought I
Wow.
was gonna say, what's a payphone?
Let's not go so
I know
far.
what's a payphone.
Not too long ago,
I'm not
and I'm
that
gonna say not too long ago. We have beepers.
What's a beeper?
And
Wow,
now
Fabu,
Fabu has
yeah.
no idea what a beeper is.
Wait, what is
obviously.
a beeper?
Don't worry, you will never. There's
You'll
not
never
even.
ever need.
You will never not only need it, but there's no need for you to know what a beeper is because is completely useless
Okay.
at this point of life, and it will continue even be more useless. But back in the day, it was something that it was needed.
It was
So,
mind-blowing.
yes, we have seen Fabu since she was small and start actually playing video games that it has helped a lot for the way that she problem solve, for the way they actually she's trying to look at things and trying to think about what
Strategies.
will be the result and strategize things. And I believe, I strongly believe that has been tools that we have utilized for our therapy and it has helped us. That's right. Once again, we are the type of family that we always have said that we don't see game as a negative for our family because it has not been. Al contrary,
Absolutely.
it has been
A positive.
a positive, a super positive tool for us. Obviously, once again,
Under supervision.
under supervision, the right way. You always you have to be a parent, not just let your kid loose. We always in Fabu always monitor anything. We don't let Fabu to be in any gaming in a party or any of that
Or,
thing or
yeah.
any of that matter. We don't
Or
we don't,
voice chat, yeah.
or even when we go live streaming or anything like that.
I don't see the
Fabu's not
chat.
exposed to the chat. And the people that is always speaking with Fabu in a party, they're already people in our community. They have been years
Yes.
Years.
Yes.
with us in that community.
Yes.
And they are in the party with us, and so we always trying to make sure for us to monitor that the best way possible. But yes, to the overall answer of that question is yes. I think that it has been a humongous help, a humongous improvement, and for sure one of the biggest tools for us when it comes to therapy for Fabu.
Next question.
Next question.
Yes.
Let's go. Number 3. Which are your favorite 3 games of all time and why? I'm gonna start off. If you didn't know this about me, my games change like every week. So next week it might be totally different. So do not tell me in the future, oh Fabu, these were your top 3 games because
That's
they're
a
probably
fact.
not gonna be.
Indeed.
So this week
Let's get ready.
my favorite game.
Well, at least she's honest and she's upfront.
At least she recognizes it, and she led with that. Yeah.
My top 3 games is number 1. Well, I'll start. 3. Let's do bottom then top. 3. It would be Dead by Daylight. I really like Dead by Daylight. I am starting to love it. I like it because 1, I play with friends, and a lot of people have it. So if I play Dead by Daylight, there might be a few people to jump in, and it's a good game to socialize. With the COVID thing, that's hard to do because you don't go to school, you don't talk to anyone, well, except the people in your house. So it's nice. Second, it would be I gotta say this week, Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares was, in my opinion, so good. I loved it so much because it was so nice, and to have a game that actually you would have to think outside the box, because usually I play games that are like shooters, and you actually have to strategize. This game, it was nice to just have riddles and you have to think outside the box. So I like that game. And my first, and this will always be my first, is Resident Evil. Resident Evil, I just loved it. I loved it when I was a kid, and I'm actually waiting for the next one to come, which is The Village. But I truly love it. I am super excited for the next one. I have played all the Resident Evils except the old ones, like the really, really old ones. So yeah, I really love Resident Evil, but my favorite was when I played Resident Evil as a child. I forgot, I think Resident Evil 1, I guess. But I love that game. It was so fun. You had to think outside the box, and it was really scary for me at that time because I was getting jump scared, and it was really fun. I loved it.
Yeah, how about you, FabuMom?
That was good. That was good. I like that.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. I wanted to make one thing clear. If you haven't noticed, there's something that we're gonna be talking later on in other episodes. Fabu, as you could tell based upon her choices, game choices, Fabu favorite game genre is actually scary games. It always has been for our surprise. And I say for our surprise because we don't even like scary movies, by the way. But Fabu always has been drawn to scary games, always. And she was a little girl that we actually started making videos when she started exposed to computer games and everything. One of the first games that she played, even the live stream, it was actually Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil, and she fell in love with that genre. And we allowed her to be herself because always has been something that that we always been telling her even before we started doing YouTube videos. It's just to be herself.
Yep.
And if that was part of her, we're here to embrace it as long as it's safe, etc., and it's monitored, etc. So yes.
Actually, I love scary movies and scary games so much that I one time when I was really little and like so little at that time, Annabelle just came out, and I really wanted to watch that movie. Like I seriously was so hyped to watch that movie. And Farid, gotta tell you, Farid does not like scary movies at all. So especially Annabelle, because Annabelle seems
baby.
Yeah, Annabelle seems so scary, and he was like, no, I'm not watching that. I am not watching that. So Farad, he wanted, our little agreement was I could watch it with my cousin who actually loved movies, scary movies. We watched it together, and FabuMom and Farad went to sleep upstairs. And I was like, I was downstairs watching Annabelle with my cousin, and yeah, that's how, like, I was super little. Like,
yeah, but you forgot the part where half an hour into the movie, you were like so scared that you asked to turn off the movie.
Yes. No, not halfway. I was almost done with the movie.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I was.
No,
yeah, I was.
You weren't.
Yeah, I was. Okay. You picked the side of the story, but for me, I was almost finished. But there was just a part that I just got so freaked out because it was like, what? You might think this was so dumb, but there was a part out of the whole story. The most scariest part for me was right when the kid, the mother who had a child, she was gonna, the baby was crying, and when she was gonna check on the baby in the crib, the baby disappeared, and it saw Annabelle. I was like, you know what, I'm out. This is where I cut the line, guys. The line. We just ended it. I was like, you know what, you could watch this later, cousin, but I'm bye.
Okay, FabuMom, so which is yours?
So there's been many a game throughout the years that I've enjoyed playing. The very first ones were obviously not obviously, but were all the Nintendo games like Mario, especially Tetris. I loved. But in most recent years, my most favorite has been Pokemon Go. I think Pokemon Go was one of the faves because it got us all out and about. We were able to enjoy it as a family, not only individually, but as a family. We were able to go out and we had good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this we're gonna be talking about in an upcoming episode, especially the Pokemon Go phase that we had as a family was super awesome, and actually
Yeah.
it's gonna be an episode for us to be talking about that. So
Just Pokemon Go.
yes,
I mean, there's other games that I've played with Fau that were multiplayer games that I probably would not have played on my own, but because I played them with her, they were just special, and we had a good time, and
Like
we were-
Ori?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, so we were able to like spend that time together. So there's been many a games, but I think Pokemon Go in the most recent years has been the most favorite.
yeah, for me, there's a couple of them. Actually, there's several of them. Like I said before, I was never a humongous gamer, but I always like to play video games from here and there. And one of my first games that I loved, that I play from the very beginning, actually, that I was so excited to play on online, and it was Command and Conquer Red Alert, and that was when AOL at the very beginning of the internet.
Wow.
And yes, a little of a boomer there, but yes, it was great. For the first time I was
How was
able
that dial-up connection?
to me at the moment it was fantastic. I was able to actually play from with people from other countries and somehow chat.
That
and
was wild.
It was wild to me.
Life-changing.
To me, being 2 hours playing a game of Command and Conquer with somebody from Germany, and it was fantastic. I mean, I was thrilled. That person that was thrilled was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe that I'm playing with somebody with the United States." I'm like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm playing with somebody with Germany," and be able to have that friendly battle. And whoever won, okay,
That's something that's definitely
congratulations
taken for
and
granted right
everything. And it
but
was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, that's sounding really boomerish.
That's something that these kids take for granted now.
Yes,
Like,
like right now, this new generation it takes that so much for granted, but at that moment, it was groundbreaking. It was amazing. So yeah, that to me, that's number one experience right there. The number two, one of the favorites game that I started playing back in that era, it was Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem together with Quake and Doom. Those are old school games, but they were groundbreaking games. It took gaming to another level, and I loved it. I could tell you, besides that yes, after that I loved games like BioShock. One of my favorite games of all time is BioShock. All the BioShock's game has been amazing.
that's good.
All the Fallout games, amazing.
yes.
And right now, I love Destiny, even though I don't have the time to play Destiny. But I would say the OG for me of gaming, it started with, going online, playing Command and Conquer Red Alert, and then playing some Duke Nukem, Quake, Doom. Back in the days, that was, to me,
Was the stuff?
it was, yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was amazing to me. That was
With his dial-up connection.
that was with dial-up connection and all. To me,
Yeah.
that was amazing. I mean, I would go to sleep super happy at 2 o'clock in the morning, playing with somebody from Brazil, and 2 hours playing with somebody with Brazil. To me, that was mind
a
blowing.
Yeah.
And not only that, when I received the bill or how much did I pay of AOL, because another thing. We used to pay per minutes, people. Now we
Yeah.
take things for granted
Pay
right
for
now.
minutes?
Yeah.
But back in the days when the whole internet and AOL came out, you would pay per minute.
Wow.
And it was a couple of dollars per minute. So let's do the math. When you start playing, and throughout the month, when you play several times per week and several hours per week, those bills, I used to pay, this is facts, people. I used to pay $500, $800
Wow. That company got
Easily.
like good money.
by playing Command and Conquer at that. And now and yes, it was shocking. Well, thanks God, I was able to pay it. But it was great.
Yep.
It was great. It was that, It was something that you will pay and say, yes, but I'm doing something amazing.
It's life changing.
So right now, you just turn on your computer and you're expecting to have internet. And I know that even the lifestyle that we all living at this point is getting to the point, or we already at that point, that somehow it's unheard of that you could live without internet.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine this? It will be a humongous question, right? Could you imagine being in this pandemic without internet?
Dude,
Okay, come on.
that would
Wow,
would be
that would be something else, right? Don't we glad they actually, beyond that, all this or the pandemic is actually happening with, somehow with internet,
Yeah.
one way or another, So we do take things,
For
for
granted.
granted one way or another. So yeah, those are my games.
Next question.
Next question.
Number 4. What do you prefer more, to create videos or live stream? I'm gonna let you start this, FabuDad.
Okay. Well, I think that the best person to answer this maybe is Fabu.
Oh,
Because
throwing the ball to me. Okay,
she's
okay, I'll
like-
catch it. I'll catch it.
She's the what we call what we
content
say the
creator.
talent. She's the one that always has been in front of all this. It's never has been
Us.
it never has been us, neither we wanted to be us or anything like that. We always wanted to be behind the scene and always
Yep.
put Fabu up front, because in the end this is for Fabu and it's about Fabu. It never has been about us or anything like that. And actually, the only reason when we go to live streaming, ended up showing our faces and be part of it and everything, it was because of the terms and conditions on every platform. Even though that it was different, it required a presence of a
guardian.
parent. Depends on which platform you were live streaming at. It was the terms and conditions. Some of them they let you, the kid be on the camera, but the parents need to be right next to it. Sometimes they need to show the face, sometimes not. So it was a great line there, but we always made sure that we always following. So it always has been about Fabu. We have gone from making videos based upon what we were doing, and as the therapy section has evolved and it continued to evolve, and this part of actually our strategy with Fabu is continue evolving to be able to provide Fabu the best ways for her to keep getting better and coping better and better and better through everything. Has been changed, that it took us for making videos to live streaming to go back and start making videos again and everything. So to be quite honest, for me, I don't have any
Preference?
preference. I liked somehow, if I like, let's say I like making videos a little bit more, just because I believe that that's how we started, and it's something that we do share, and it's still to today when we make video is us. I feel that when we're filming, we're making everything, it's the three of us, and it always has been a chemistry that somehow I feel they put the family together, and the three of us do something together, and that feeling in itself, I liked it. Something that even though that when we were doing live streaming, it was the three of us too.
I was gonna say.
And that was like we always say, the best part of our day, because it was interacting. But that was when we were in Mixer, because the FTL, we were actually interacting more with the audience. Now that through the Facebook gaming or through YouTube gaming, we don't have to be the three of us. So we decide just to let Fabu up front and concentrate our time and be able to do all the things that we need to do as other projects now, including this podcast, be able to come back and doing more videos, and because Fabu enjoys it a lot to create the videos and the not only gaming videos but gaming reviews, and which is totally different.
Which is different, because I was gonna also add that, like, the live streaming, Fabu was also relying a lot on us and using us as a crutch, and so the progress wasn't as much as it was when she's doing videos.
Exactly. So doing live streaming, and we noticed this things that we want to be talking later on through the episodes. we noticed that the Fabu was being too quiet and letting us to interact with the crowd and everything, and for us that was nothing positive. It was it was something that we want for her to be more part of, and we see herself being more part of when we were actually doing gaming reviews, which we come back to to do it, gaming reviews, unboxing, things like that. We're currently doing. She enjoys the most when you are in live streaming. I'm not gonna say you feel the pressure because you're there in live stream, but you need there's a different gimmick there. There's a different vibe there, which is positive and it's all good, but it's different than when actually, like to give an example, what I was saying before, when we are creating an unboxing, is the three of us, and during the weekend, it's good. It's the three of us. I don't know. It's awesome. I liked it. If I would enjoy it, and it's a different thing. It's a different gimmick there, a different vibe and everything there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to me it just.
And you
Yeah.
have something tangible that you like have at the end, which becomes part of your archive, the video, versus
Exactly.
live stream, well.
Overall, we have seen Fabu getting more out of the videos when it comes to therapy and everything, getting more out of the videos than live stream. But at the same time, when she actually put her part and not relying on us in live stream, it's great because there's other things that in therapies that it goes on in the live stream totally different that we cannot duplicate when it comes to videos,
Exactly.
and that have to do with with social
Yeah.
and a bunch of other stuff that we're gonna be talking in more details in upcoming episodes that is totally different. So to me, it's all right because regardless, if we making video, I'm right next to Fabu, and we are doing live streaming, I'm next to Fabu, and whatever it is that we're doing, I'm next to Fabu, and sometimes
So,
I
yeah.
have, I'm part of it, sometimes not, but I'm always next to Fabu with the mic open or not, but once again I'm always next to Fabu. So to me, it's whatever it is that she feel comfortable. Sometimes she's like, no, I just want to do videos today, and I'm like, okay, you tell me what you want. Sometimes she's like, no, it's okay, let's gonna do this game, and okay, and we do it. It's always, and it still always has been, and it still is, and it would always would be about her
Yeah.
and what she wants, and then us trying to make the best that we can in order to continue to help her, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I really love how you guys turned this question into like 5 hour. Like,
Wow.
like seriously, like I thought this was just a nice question,
Easy
like,
peasy.
hey, yeah, like, hey, live stream because blah 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 blah. But you guys are like, oh, the videos, I don't care, videos, blah 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 blah, live stream, blah 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 blah
Okay,
blah.
so what are your thoughts?
It's-
This week, because we know that next week you might have a different opinion.
To be honest, I like them both. Like, I really don't have a preference because live stream, it depends what I'm feeling for. Like, live streaming, it's like for live stream, I play Overwatch, Dead by Daylight games like you play with other people because I feel like in live stream it's social and nice and fun when making videos is really about like story games, like story like Resident Evil or Outlast or Little Nightmares. It's more like a more enhanced game. So if I'm feeling, oh, I want to play with some people, play some shooters, because it doesn't have to be shooters, like it could be Dead by Daylight, but I'm feeling for some shooters with some friends, I'll go to live stream. And if I'm feeling for just some story, Spider-Man Far From Home, I'll play, I would make a video because it's no point playing a story game in live stream if no one's going to play with you. What's the point of a live stream, in my opinion? So
Wow, so she's already like connecting live streaming with playing multiplayers and
Well-
playing online with others and with the community. Okay?
And it's also like kind of therapy because videos, I see it as videos is a way for me to express myself, where live streaming is for express myself, but with people. So I'll and how to behave. Well, not how to behave, like
Yeah,
not
how to
like-
behave, because you've grown up over the
yeah,
years.
because with this COVID thing, it's not like I could right now talk to my school friends because if you didn't know, I'm virtual, so I really can't because I just can't. And so Livestream is for me a way to talk to my friends, and also they're way bigger than me. They're like, I don't know, older. They're so it's also like I kind of I don't have to, because if I talk to my friends, they are not mature or less mature, because I'm a little bit more mature, because I actually talk to people who are older than me, and they're actually call on you out, like they call you out if you're talking shit or talking bad. So which is also good for live streaming, if to explain myself and how to proper to behave like to people, because I'm here to FabuMom and FabuDad. They're my parents, like I have to respect them, but with people I don't have to, but you should. So it's a thing, yeah. And so, yeah.
Another thing I wanted to point out, if I was saying that she's very sharing everything when it comes to the friend, everything. One thing that we always have done is always trying to make everything that we do private. If I will go to a private school and everything, but we leave everything private, just to make sure that her friend and the school friends and everything, they don't know, or they have no idea or anything.
Yeah.
What is the Fabu does or anything like that, because that could actually, create something else, and we always trying to protect her privacy in every sense of the word.
Yeah,
So,
and
yes.
also if you didn't know, like once I just wanted to see time I actually told a friend that I was, well, not a friend, classmate. It's not like I go out like and play with them or anything. Not to be antisocial, it's just they're not really nice or mean. Okay, I'm not gonna even say. But actually, I told someone that about my what I do. Like I'm here. I talk with my family. I play video games, and this guy, this person that I told, he's like, he was mean. He tried to brush it off, and I guess that's like in my grade, that's jealousy, and kids are like that. Kids are get mean to you, and they're haters, and they're jealous. So that's one of the reasons why we don't tell them, because then that could turn into jealousy, and then it can turn into bullying. Well, my school, if you didn't know, it's not one of those crappy schools who just let kids bully each other, but still, they could hurt you with your words. They could tell you that you suck, and that actually is really bad, because that could turn into insecurity and everything, like, oh, this is sucky, and then actually then it will turn into the nerdy kid and the mean, like the person that you don't want to talk to, and that's not cool either. So yeah.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap.
That's right. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Once again, we would like to thank our sponsors, Turtle Beach, Rockcat, and G Fuel for their continued support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Now, we invite you to our next episode. Episode 6, Getting the Right Software. We have spoken about getting the right hardware, everything that we needed, all that equipment that we needed to buy. Now, it's very important to have the right software, which is very important. I never thought that having the right software, it would actually increase your productivity time.
So if you would like to be a part of this podcast, or you would like to ask us any questions, please make sure that you join our Discord and ask us those questions there. We will be randomly selecting those questions to answer during future episodes.
And like always, just be yourself, because that is
Fabulicious!
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.